Protect your home from home. Simple Caravan Insurance, sponsors of the Caravan Channel.
So let's take a look at the kind of used caravan that's particularly going to appeal to a large family. Like this, a 6-berth Swift Charisma. With me is Neil Curtis, who's a sales executive with Campbell's Caravans here in Preston in Lancashire. And I wanted to talk to Neil particularly about the second-hand or the used or the pre-owned market. What would a typical dealer's makeover of that caravan consist of? How far would you go with repairs and renovations?
Yeah, I mean, we'll endeavour to try and obviously rectify as many faults as we possibly can. Anything that's loose or anything like that, we'll endeavour to fix that. But certain things can't be rectified, such as, marks in work surfaces and so on and things like that. Unfortunately, that's just part and parcel of the caravan. Everything's checked thoroughly for damp when it comes in part exchange, and wherever there is issues like that, we'll rectify those before the van actually goes on sale anyway. Mm-hmm. When it's been through the workshops, obviously any faults that are noted at that point, then obviously they would be rectified, and vice versa. Once you've taken delivery, if there are any issues with it, you've got the peace of mind of knowing that you can bring it back to us, and obviously we'll look at it and fix it for you.
Now, this is a 3 to 4 year old family van, and it's had 3 to 4 years of good family use. But it's stood up quite well to that wear and tear, I think. These seats at the front are still very comfortable, still got a lot of bounce in them. Under bunk storage, good access into there from that way, or you can go in from the top. Well, we come through to the kitchen area here, and things really are very much as you would expect in a very modern day caravan. You've got a 4-element hob, again 1 electric element, 3 gas, which is very useful. Separate grill and an oven, a very handy under oven pan storage area. 1 cupboard here, which is a handy little pantry area, which has a slide out cutlery drawer. Well, in a family van, in some ways, this is the business end. This is the sleeping area. 2 bunks there, and another 2 that can be made up on this side. This section lifts up to form a bunk here, and then you put a table section across there to make a bottom bunk. So that's 4 sleeping there. Mum and Dad probably up the front, of course. But one of the nice little trick things about this layout, and this came over from Ace Caravans, which Swift took over, is a very handy little underbunk storage area with anchor points in the floor so you could fasten down bulky items. These bunks are particularly nice quality, I think. Individual lights over both of them, and the underside is properly finished. It's not rough and ready as you find in some caravans, and a very sturdy, permanently placed ladder for scampering up into the top bunk. Very nice indeed. Little individual curtains. No shelves or cubby holes, unfortunately, which are always a nice thing, but I can imagine kids making a nice little den in there. And right at the back of the caravan is the washroom. It's quite a reasonable space, I think. You've got a shower unit here with a rather unusual chocolate brown opaque sliding door. Quite why you would want a chocolate brown opaque sliding door, I'm not quite sure. It certainly cuts off a lot of light, and there's not much in the way of daylight other than the overhead skylight here, unless you open the blind. And what do we find there? A transparent window. Why, manufacturers, why do you put transparent windows in washrooms? Anybody using the washroom, first thing they have to do is draw the blind, which rather makes the window redundant. Good thing about this washroom is just here, which is an enormous wardrobe, and that's where you find your secondary ladder for your other bunks. And not to be forgotten, something quite handy is this, a pull switch for the light. Because if you're only a littlie scampering down from your bunk in the middle of the night, you can't reach up there to turn the light on. One great solution. Well done. So there we have it, a 3-year-old Swift Charisma 590 with a maximum towing weight of 1,700 kilograms, which gives you an idea of the size of it. It's a twin axle. It's a 6-berth, and I was going to tell you a little bit about something about the outside of this caravan, but really there's not that much to say. The exterior skin is in good condition for 3 years old, as you'd expect it to be. It's pretty much blemish-free in terms of dents and dings. But it's amazing how quickly the caravan world moves, and things that are starting to become almost expected as standard now, things like exterior barbecue points for gas supply and for electricity supply, well, they're not on this van. It's 3 years old. So there are things that you could have retrofitted, perhaps if they were important to you. But basically, this is a standard, fairly simple family van. £11,500 is the asking price for this model. That might be something you'd be thinking about if you've got 4 little ones to carry around the country with you.